All the member for Upper Hunter.
Madam Speaker, my question is directed to the Minister for Industry, Resources and Energy.
Robbo the Magnificent.
Can I compliment him on his
You
tie
say no.
and ask, how have the government's reforms helped to increase transparency between gas companies, farmers and landowners in rural and regional New South Wales?
Okay, Minister for Energy and Resources. Member for Liverpool, do you have a point of order?
The reference by the member asking the question to the tie is clearly in breach of Standing Order 128, subparagraph F. Ironical expressions are precluded from being included in question.
The question, it's in order. Minister has the call. Nice try. Order. Order. Members will come. Member for Bankstown. Not long to go now. Surely. Surely. Just for 5 minutes. Well, I don't know yet. Minister hasn't begun to answer his question.
You guys missing
Member
something
for
from
Wyong?
strategy? Yeah.
Right.
Here it is, Luke's lucky 8 ball, but we'll come back and sort of ask it a few questions a little bit later on if you want to have a look. Yeah, property of Luke, don't touch, but it answers a few questions, but we'll come back to that. But look, Madam Speaker, earlier today I had the great pleasure in joining with the member for Upper Hunter, as well as representatives from the Country Women's Association of New South Wales, Dairy Connect, Cotton Australia, the Irrigators Council, AGL and Santos, to witness 2 new signatories to the agreed principles of land access. The principles were originally signed by New South Wales farmers, Cotton Australia, the Irrigators Council, Santos and AGL in March of last year. They were reaffirmed by the public commitments made by AGL and Santos to not enter onto land for drilling operations where they weren't welcome. The principles also agreed that landholders have the right to say yes to coal seam gas operations on their land, free from harassment or intimidation from third parties. With the re-signing of this agreement, the people of Gloucester and Narrabri can again be rest assured that any drilling operations on their land will take place with their permission. Madam Speaker, one of the great untold stories of the coal seam gas industry in New South Wales is the fact that there has never been forced arbitration for land access for drilling operations in this state. And I'd like to make it very clear for the House, not once has a petroleum title holder resorted to their legal right to have access agreements determined without the willingness of the landholder.
Government benches. Member for Maitland has the right to rise on a point of order, and there be no interjections. Member for Maitland, point of order.
It's just that the children over here have lost their balls, which I think that it's distracting some of the members down the other side of the House.
Member for Maitland, resume your seat.
Is that many farmers are sitting down and working respectfully with gas companies to reach agreements that protect their land and soil and also create a form of off-farm income for that farmer. Misinformation, Madam Speaker, in our cities is often purported that farmers across the state are under attack from gas companies. Madam Speaker, the truth of the land is much different. The truth is that we have responsible and mature companies that work collaboratively with landholders to ensure land access arrangements that benefit all parties. Madam Speaker, I note today that the Labor Party and the other place have chosen to join the Greens bandwagon and introduce a new coal seam gas moratorium bill. We know Labor's appalling record, of course, in this House when it comes to regulating this industry, and Madam Speaker, nothing's changed. Of course, their bill glosses over, of course, the Camden Gas Project, because why would you look at a project that's been operating safely for 13 years? And of course, that won't help with a campaign to steal Green votes at the expense of New South Wales. It's okay for Camden to continue operating, but it's not appropriate in other parts of New South Wales. Really, are they a serious option here, Madam Speaker? Sadly, they are actually serious about allowing Camden to continue and, of course, destroy other parts and opportunities in New South Wales. And this is another example of their laziness, a lack of homework and a flip-flop on their policy development. They haven't realised that they have no credibility on this issue. They haven't realised that no one is voting for them because of the good work of this government on this issue. And they should be ashamed of their failure to regulate this industry. You should have provided those opposite the same level of regulation that exists today when this industry was first getting off the ground 15 years ago. You failed, and you failed miserably. And I note that the bill contains an arbitrary ban on CSG operations in Narrabri and the Pilliga.
It is, Madam Speaker, Standing Order 77. I believe currently the Minister is anticipating a debate that will occur into this House, and so it's inappropriate for him to continue.
What are you sure paying attention for a change, though, Member for Wyong, and listening? No point of order.
No point of order. I must ask the Leader of the Opposition, of course, what is this science? What science is it based on? I mean, have those opposite ever been to Narrabri and spoken to the local farms and businesses that are seeing the benefits of industry? No, they haven't. Have they been to Gloucester and met farmers there who are making off-farm income? No, they haven't. Have they asked them how they will feel having this income arbitrarily stripped away from them?
Point of order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. 130. The Minister's clearly debating an issue. He's not answering the question. He's clearly debating an issue. He's using the opportunity to have a debate that we're not simply having.
No point of order. He was asked a question. He's answering it. Member for Hunter.
Have any of them asked how those farmers will feel having their income arbitrarily stripped away from them? Madam Speaker, the Coalition are the only representatives of the people in this state that can be trusted to have the interests of rural and regional people at heart as we oversee the safe and responsible regulation of our gas industry. Madam Speaker, while this government has overseen the agreed principles of land access, the Labor Party has its own access agreement. It's called the Agreed Principles of Union Access. And if you have a look at some of those principles set out in the document, it's a short document, it's not long, it's not complex. Firstly, one of those agreed principles that all phone calls from Sussex Street to Macquarie Street will be answered after no more than 3 rings. Secondly,
Member for Liverpool on a point of order.
As the one member who doesn't respond to Sussex Street calls,
Member for
the
Liverpool.
point of order is 129. Whatever this has to do with, it has nothing to do with the question.
Straight a little now. Yes.
Secondly, and this is critical and explains a lot, a democratic vote for the leadership of the party will be held only once the result of the vote has been decided, and in brackets, by Sussex Street. And then it goes on to 3, their final one. The nominated Leader of the Opposition will then be parachuted into a formerly safe Labor seat despite the performance of the former Labor member. And we all remember Barb. Madam Speaker, this is a record. This is the record of those opposite. We are, on this side of the House, proud to say that we will continue to act in the best interests of everyone across the state because, unlike those opposite, we on this side believe in the future of rural and regional New South Wales.
The time for questions has expired. Are there any ministerial statements?